Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akintola. Please, one house, please. My name is Akintola Akinroti Joseph. I'm here this afternoon to take you on a short training because time is gone. How to balance your life and your work so that one will not be at the detriment of the other one. And please, along the line, you might have some question popping up in your heart. Raise your hand to ask. Because if you feel you ask at the end of the class, you might have forgotten. And I want to encourage you to ask a question. There is a Chinese proverb that says, a man that asks question is only a fool for a while. What he doesn't know will be explained to him. But a man that has a question to ask, but refuses to ask, remains a fool for life, because that doubt will still be within him for life. So I encourage people to ask questions in my class. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. And I don't want distraction. Please let your phone be on silence, please. Thank you. Now we are going into what we are here for. A lot of people don't have balanced life. A lot of people. As a matter of fact, many people are ruled by their work. It has been established that we spend chunk of our life at work, not even with our spouse, not even with our children. So we need to find a way to balance our life and our work. A lot of people, especially ladies, they put all their life into work. I was with one CEO. He told me, if you are going to employ for your business, make sure you employ ladies. I asked him, I said, why? He said, they are very loyal to organization. And they are not ambitious like men. And once they commit to a job, they put in all their life. He said, I have staff who have worked with me for 15 years, 20 years. I took it as a lesson, but it could be a weakness. So today we are going to be discussing about your life, the direction your life is going, and what is happening in your life and the results you are getting at work. Let's begin. Now, these are Nigerians at maybe Olympic. Now, many people are running fast in life, not minding the direction they are going. And I want to tell you this afternoon, it does not matter how fast you are going if you are going on the wrong direction. As a matter of fact, it's better to be slow on the right road than to be fast on the wrong lane. Many people, when they are about to retire, or when they are close to retirement, or they are at deathbed, is when they realize that they have led a falseful life. They have been made to believe a lie, and they are regretting it. How many people at deathbed have you seen that wish that they spend more hours at war? I've never seen any. When people are down to zero level, maybe at deathbed, they wish they had more time with their spouses, with their children. And why not adjust your life now and have your time with people that matter in your life, and invest your quality time into the life that matters around you, so that at the end, when you are retiring or when you're about to go to the other side, you will have some joy within your heart. So that is why we're here today. Now, I don't know if any of this statement has been identified with your thoughts. Maybe I need more time. Have you ever had some time in your life that you sit down and say, oh, I need more time in my life. I want to enjoy my life more. I'm always running around. I never have time for myself. My friends and family want more of me, but how do I give it? Is there anybody that has anything related to these statements? Anyone? Okay. Now, some people say, I'm always in crisis because I procrastinate. But I procrastinate because I'm always in crisis. What a calamity. Now, I have no balance between my personal life and my work. It seems like when I take time from one for the other, it makes matters worse. These are lamentations of a man that his life, his work and life is not balanced. Now I said there is too much stress. Now when your life is not balanced over time, you will be tilting towards addiction, and then you'll be tilting towards stress. And when a man is getting to that level, you know one thing about organization, when you are no longer useful, they know what to do. I remember a story I read on WhatsApp maybe last year or 2 years ago. A guy resumed at a work, and at the meeting, the boss introduced him to all the staff, so he felt welcome. 2-3 weeks into the new job, he had a family engagement, and he walked up to the boss to explain to him that I would need a day off. When he got to the boss said, "Oh, you are so important to this organization. You cannot have such opportunity." He took solace in the fact that you are so important to this organization. So he called the wife, says, "You know what? I won't be able to go because my boss told me I'm so important to this organization." Okay. Some weeks later or a month later, one of the staff died. And the boss announced, maybe at the devotion in the office, and said, "Mr. So just died." Oh, 1 minute silence. And the boss said, "Everybody can go back to work." While they went back to work, this guy that the boss told that is important to the organization walked up to the boss and said, "Sir, what now happens to Mr. So and so job?" The boss smiled. I said, "Don't worry. Another person resumes tomorrow." He was shocked. He had an epiphany. I am so important to this organization. Now one person is gone. Another person is resuming tomorrow. I want you to know that you are so important to this organization. You are so important to this organization. But I want you also to know that if you stop coming today, another person resumes tomorrow. Life goes on. Life goes on. So that is the bitter truth we are here to tell ourselves. Okay, let's go ahead. We are here to learn how to balance our life and our work. And what a better way to start by learning how to master our life. Now, I got a definition of leadership from a great leader. He said, leadership is efficient management of self, time, task, and resources. Now, if you look at this list now, the first thing to manage well is self. No man can lead others if he has not led himself. No man. And you cannot manage your time well. You cannot balance your work life if you have not been able to master yourself. Many people have not mastered themselves. Therefore, they allow anything to happen to them. So I'm here to tell you this morning, we are starting from managing yourself. What do I mean by managing self? I remember a story, the first man that ever climbed Mount Everest. It was a difficult task in those days. So when his team landed on Mount Everest, the journalists gathered to interview him. And when they started the interview, they said, "Oh, you must have achieved this great deal. And tell us your secret." The man said something. He said, "We did not conquer Everest. We conquered ourselves." So it was because we conquered ourselves, then we can conquer Everest. Many people don't put themselves under laws and conditions. They allow things to happen to them. Such people cannot balance their life. Like before you guys came, we were watching a video. Some people don't even have control over people they call their friends. It's just anybody coming to their life. It's a default. Even enemy disguising as friend is allowed. So I'm here to tell you, if you are going to balance your life with your work, the first thing you need to learn is to begin to lead yourself well. Not even at a time like this, that one will not know how to lead himself well. For instance, now you know that the price of commodity in the market is going up every day. Are you aware of that? I don't know whether you are aware also that salary is not being increased over some time now. Eh? Or is there any plan for increment right now?
By January.
By January. Now, commodities are shooting up in the market. Salary is not increased. How can somebody be a good staff, not a demoralized one in such an environment? And I can tell you, I am a trainer, I'm a consultant. I've gone through the to-do list of business owners. Salary increment is not there. Do you know why? Because they are struggling to keep the business. Competition is so high right now. If you shoot up salary anyhow, it will affect the whole business. And once you can't pay 2 or 3 months, everybody disappears. Now, when salary is not increasing any longer, and commodities are shooting up every day, then there comes a time a man needs to sit down to balance his life, his spending, so that you can come out with something in your life, so that your salary will not be what Yoruba call salary, coming, goes like that. That is part of managing self. I used to ask in this class, what's your name, sir? Mr. Oluwaseun, is that your surname?
No, Adesanya.
Mr. Adesanya, let me ask you a question. What if this coming October now, salary is about to be paid? I'm sure they pay into everybody's account, right? Now, the day salary is paid, you receive a lot, and one demon, God forbid, just push you. I say, Adesanya, just stand up. Now, go and withdraw. Go and withdraw. It's not your style, but something just push you. Go and withdraw. Go and withdraw. You refused it like 3 times, but eventually you succumb to the temptation. And as you were withdrawing from the ATM, some touts on the way, just say your life or your money. And they just collect the whole salary. How will you survive that month?
It will be by the grace of God.
Now, he said it will be by the grace of God. Who can tell me any other way to survive?
Either you borrow or you have other means of survival.
Okay, will he survive?
Yes.
Are you sure he will survive? He will. He will. He will. Now, let me ask you another question. Now, maybe instead of increment in salary, what if management came up with another idea of slashing everybody's salary into half? And you have to be under condition to work and not to resign. Will you survive the next 6 months? Are you sure?
Yes.
Be objective. Some will resign. I said you are under obligation not to resign.
It has, sir.
One house, please.
It has actually,
I'm coming.
It has actually happened to me before.
Okay.
Whereby our salaries were slashed. We all survived.
Okay. Your opinion, sir?
Everybody will survive. Everybody will survive for the life that the human instinct works with whatever is available and presented to him or her as the circumstance. So everybody will survive.
But is it a good idea?
No, of course, some things will come with it.
But I want to tell you the bitter truth. You might not be aware. It seems salary has been slashed into half.
Of course, it has.
Let me tell you, economic-wise, what your salary can handle last year, January, cannot handle now. That is technically salary is slashed. What 100,000 can buy last year, January, it cannot buy right now. Somebody says sorry.
To one of our colleagues that is backing on one project that someone did 5 years ago with maybe 50,000, not really 200,000 now.
Can you imagine? Times 4. Times 4. So that means like salary is cut like 25%. I want you to have that approach to life right now. If your life will be meaningful, if you will not just be collecting salary and it will be disappearing. I know you are teachers, but also you have children that you pay school fees. And now as you are resuming, you will be paying school fees too. So life demands that one places himself under some laws that will enable you to put some money apart. And then you'll be able to plan on such money. That's the first the demand you need to put on yourself. That's the first demand. To make some effort to put like at least 25% of your salary apart. That even if I'm dying, I'm not touching this one. I'm telling you that even when you are dying, God forbid, and they say maybe it's cancer or it's I'm not saying that. I say even if. I'm not saying you are dying. It's if, not.
That one is too extreme.
Do we have any Ijebus here? Now they understand what I'm saying. If you see an Ijebu woman or an Ijebu man, if an Ijebu man is dying, if he has 5 million, he's looking at you like this. If they say they will buy drug 5,000, he's looking at you like this. He will not touch his money. If an Ijebu man dies and you want him to wake up, just shake his kolo where he's keeping the money. Shake it in his ear. He will jump back to life. Now, do you know why I'm saying that? We can, like I said, Mr. Adeshion will survive. Adesonya will survive even if salary is away for 1 month. With that mind, with that kind of mindset, we need that kind of mindset to have some money in your bank that even there's a need for 5,000 at home, but you said that money I'm not withdrawing. You take your ATM, you go and put it where you cannot even easily access it, so that money is just there. What do you want to say, sir?
One case study was some years back in our unit. 2 of our staff, as they pay them salary, unfortunately for them, Yahoo boys, they withdrew the money.
That's the case, like the case I mentioned before. Okay.
Today, one of them is even outside the country.
Okay.
One of them is outside the country. It will bring pain. He got pain rather.
Yeah.
But
it cost him to make some decision in his life, which eventually led him to where he is today.
Yes.
I am telling you that a man with low resources might not be able to balance his life. Low resources. That's where I'm starting from there. When you are limited in life with options, you don't have much alternatives, you won't balance your life. You can't balance your life. When you need to make some decisions and there are opportunities beckoning on you and you just need little resources and you can't boast of any, you might not be able to balance your life. You might not be. That is where we are starting from. And you better thank God for this organization you are. In this Lagos, I know like 2 or 3 companies who are holding like 4 months salary right now. 4 months salary right now. I'm not even talking of federal government or state government. I'm talking of a corporate organization that for the last 4 months, staffs have not gotten salary.
And some states for a year.
Yeah. Yeah. People are not getting salary. So the first thing we need to do is to begin to lead ourselves well. Now let me go to the next one. We need to manage our time well. And now let's go through history of time management. Time management. You know, we are talking of money before. I want to know that if you do analysis of yourself now, you know what is in your bank account right now, Abi? We all know. You don't need to tell me, you know. But I'm here to tell you that what resources you have around you now is a reflection of how well you have been managing your time. Either big resources or low resources. Anything you have within or around you right now is like a picture of how well you have managed your life, which is your time. You know, they measure life in time. That's why when a man dies, they say in his lifetime. Life is measured in time. Now, people think that, you know, if you don't have money, hide your face. That's the kind of song we are listening to now. It doesn't make any sense. But I want you to know that there has been a high premium on money. People measure success in life with money, whereas they are neglecting the major resources of life, which is time. You can lose money and gain it. But if you lose time, you can't gain it. And people who are making money, they put in time to produce money. Time is a convertible resource. So we are going to look at history of time management. How people in history have been effective by managing their time. And how can we apply such to our life? Because when you begin to balance and manage your time well, there will be a little balance in your life. That is what we are going through right now. Now, the first generation of time management was reminders. And unfortunately, many people are still at that level of reminders. Maybe tomorrow now what you are to do, you set a reminder. I have a meeting, and then go to the market in the afternoon, come back to work, church meeting in the evening. Oh, call my brother-in-law. Reminders. But reminder creates a kind of go with the flow kind of environment. You only go with things as it happens. What should be number one priority might eventually be number 7. Number 7 might come up to be number 1. Going with the flow. And you create to-do list. As you are doing them, you are marking them. But eventually, at the end of the day, when you finish your day, you discover that, oh, there are many left undone. And then you pile it up for next day. And for next day also to bring some other unforeseen circumstances that will affect your to-do list. So to-do list has limitation. Then another generation came. The generation of planning and preparation. That was the next one. Now, instead of just writing to do and what to do today, now you plan each one you want to do. And you attach calendars to those dates that you are doing whatever you want to do. Now, this generation was better than to-do list. Because even before time you are notified. On the table you see, okay, resumption, September, so. So if they say there's going to be, we will have resumed that time, I might not be able to show up. So you cut you manage your time by calendar and appointment books. But this one also has limitation. Because you will have set some date now, and eventually some events will come up that will affect the date. Maybe you want to have a wedding anniversary, and then suddenly, maybe they said there's a meeting of top management, whatever, at so day. You have booked, you have planned, you have set aside some money for hotel and for merriment for your wedding anniversary, only to have an event, a meeting at office that will silence or block your wedding anniversary celebration, and which eventually hurts your spouse. Now, another thing came up, and that was planning, prioritizing, and controlling. You know, the other one does not have controlling and does not really prioritize. But this one said, okay, now these are top things to be handled, and nothing can stop them. Even if another thing happens, I won't shift this plan. Now, this was working because this came with another thing called delegating and organizing. Now, if you feel that there's an event already planned and another one show up, you can delegate one to attend other one. Are you getting me? These are the generations of time management. First one, second one, third one. But eventually, this last one seems to be producing results. Only for some managers, top managers, to get to a level in their life. You use delegation, prioritizing, planning. Now you are about to retire. You just suddenly discover you have hurt many people. That's one side. You discover that, you have never had time with your children. Those prize giving day in their school, you were never there. And your son that you love so much has developed hatred towards you only because you were effective managers at work. A man said it's like trying to climb the ladder of success and only to get to the top of the ladder and discover that the ladder has been leaning on a wrong wall. You see many managers, I don't know whether you have seen any top manager retiring before. There is a time of appraisal for them. Many who have crushed their way to the top. You know those top bosses that you don't mess up with, either you get queried or you get fired. When they are near retirement, they don't have many people around them. And then when they now retire, they retire to empty home. And within few days, they will still be coming to the office. You know why? They are not useful at home. The only place they have been useful in their life is at work. And then that power they used to have is gone. And the people they used to bully around, now they will see them, they will just pass them. And they will not feel cheated and feel disappointed. Are you getting me? This is what that generation produced. This is what that generation produced. It produced people that they tactically applied time management principles to be effective at work, but they were total failures at home. So there's a need for another one. And this last one is a bomb. It's the one that balances work and life. Any questions so far? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let's go to that fourth one. Look at this paper. This fourth generation tried to divide what we do in our life into 4 categories. Either at